Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Dota 2 Champions League. We have one series alone tonight. It's going to be Burn United facing up against Alliance. Alliance are actually not doing too bad in the D2CL, but Burn United are actually sitting at a clean 4-0 right now, looking to continue that uncontested winning streak by going another 2-0 up against Alliance. So let's jump into our first match of the day because I am not alone. Fortunately, I am going to be joined by a wonderful co-caster and a good friend of mine, Clairvoyant's going to be joining me. Claire, it has been a while, my friend.
It has most certainly been a while, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I'm just casting some great Dota, you know, and it's a pretty short night as well. I got this and maybe the end of ISO Cup, so all around quality, but not working too hard. You know, I'm living the life, Claire. I'm living the life.
Not working too hard. Sounds like the words that resonate in my head every day. Sounds good.
So, Claire, I haven't actually casted with you in a while. I know you casted with Toby the other day. I'm presuming you've been keeping up with all the games that have been going on. What do you think about the new Burn United?
Honestly, man, I haven't seen them really lose so far, aside from to BBC that one time. But again, it's just like the first series, first major series that they really had on the line with a lot of stakes. Ever since the formation of the team, it's relatively new. I think the roster is kind of like 1 month, maybe less, in terms of age. And honestly, they're strong, man. They're winning so many televised games right off the get-go, and all these players, aside from some of them I personally don't know, like Necroman and maybe MyNuts, who was on Alliance prior to this. Maybe they lack a little bit of experience, but they haven't been showing any of that in terms of their play. So they're crushing, and we can already see that Alliance respect banning the PL, which Sing Sing has been taking very often. Sing Sing, known to be one of the more versatile players in the scene, you know, going on that PL and picking up the Vlads, just assisting the team somehow. And the other day they had that massive comeback from Mega Creeps against M5, which led to a 3-0, I believe, closure of the series final in the Hitbox Championship. So man, these guys have a lot going for them right now, and TI qualifiers is very close by.
Yeah, Burn United gonna be starting out this draft with a Sniper and Dazzle, Troll, Chen, and Spirit Breaker picked up by Alliance. I don't know about you, Claire, but I've been seeing some recent Spirit Breaker pickups, and I have been pretty in love with it, man. Spirit Breaker seems to be a very dominant hero right now. I can't believe how strong he can be. He's just so tanky and is able to just provide that, like, the constant set of vision. Only a 12-second cooldown on his charge means he's just like kind of always all over the place getting ganks. I mean, you occasionally see even I can't remember. I think it was Hehe who were running a dual lane. Yeah, it was Hehe. They ran a dual lane Darkseer Spirit Breaker, and they basically got the Spirit Breaker to like level 2 or 3, and then he just roamed out of lane and let the Darkseer to it. But the early start even was just impossible to deal with. What do you do when this cow who has spikes all over him is running at you and he's tanked up? You can't actually kill him because he's the highest EHP hero at level 1. You know, there's not much you can really do to stop that guy.
I personally like the hero quite a bit as well. I think with Spirit Breaker in the picture, awareness is definitely key, but most of the time it does come down to those encounters where, like, depending on the bash, like number of bashes you get, or like when you first get your bash, because after your charge of darkness, which will always proc greater bash, you can also Nether Strike, and that'll also proc another greater bash. And if you get another bash at any point within the next few right clicks, most of the time you can just burst them down from the bash bonus damage. So it's usually a good hero, sometimes a ridiculous hero. And with Troll Warlord's attack speed, he might just become a ridiculous hero. Yeah,
I mean, who needs a Mask of Madness when you got that Troll to give you as many possibilities as it does? It's kind of the same sort of possibilities that you give to Faceless Void off lane, which I recently saw another team run, which was the Troll 1 position in the Faceless Void off lane, which, you know, the obvious synergy there, you don't even need any real attack speed items because the Troll ultimate gives it to you in the early game. But the line now going to be picked up by Alliance. Pretty standard supports, pretty highly valued, but Slardar is kind of the questionable pickup for me. I have not been a fan of Slardar. I've been a fan of Spirit Breaker. Slardar, not so much. I do like the fact, the one thing I really hate about Slardar is that I don't feel like he just farms so slowly. and he's not really a hero that you want to go for Midas. So if he goes for like the Vanguard Blink build, he has to get a lot done in the mid game and snowball that advantage. But he tends to fall off pretty hardcore going late game. I think generally he's a very hit and miss hero. What I like about Burn United is that they do have that mid sniper to kind of take over the carry role if this Slardar doesn't snowball as hard as they need.
Yeah, that is sort of true, and you know I've had my disbeliefs in their rush sniper picks. I think in a lot of games, a lot of teams are generally getting off of that trend of just rushing the sniper pick. It has counters. You know, the hero is definitely great. It shuts down a lot of mid laners with that insane ability in the shrapnel. But you know, Spirit Breaker is actually a quite good counter because most of the time snipers, even when they're level anywhere between 1 to 8, they actually have no responses to a Spirit Breaker charging them.
Right.
You always have to TP a support, and I know it's 4 picks in, which is usually good enough to gauge whether like the last pick is gonna have the biggest impact or not. But so far, I would say Alliance has outdrafted Burden quite heavily, and it comes down to small things such as the sniper not really being able to respond to the Spirit Breaker ganks alone. But most importantly, if they have a jungler in the Enigma who can't really rotate to save their mid laner, it means the Dazzle has to do some of the lifting. With TPs and just having the general awareness, camping runes and whatnot. And Alliance have a really, really powerful support duo, possibly one of the strongest in this patch, which is the Chen and the Lion. Both offer so much disables and aggression and damage, and most importantly the presence, which allows Chen to just walk around the map.
10 seconds
And honestly, Burden, I'm not sure if they have the adequate AoE to stop the pushes when they come into play with the Troll Warlord. Enigma is usually a really great Chen counter, one of the best in the game, but with all these other single target heroes, if they don't do well in their lanes, they might just crumble within 15 minutes.
Yeah, now wrapping it up with a Juggernaut pickup. I agree with you. Unless something really changes my mind, I feel for the last pick out from Burning United, I feel like Alliance do have the stronger draft here. The Juggernaut is just kind of the cherry on top here. They can now put the Troll in the mid position, going up against the Sniper mid, presumably, which isn't too terrible for the Troll. He's one of the decent heroes versus Sniper. Nobody really does that well versus Sniper, though, right?
Actually, I think Sniper crushes Troll. I think it's like a pure and balanced matchup. Yeah, Troll's the thing with Troll mid, and the reason why Troll is so strong right now as a hero is not because of his like lane versatility. I know some teams might have success like aggressive tri-laning the hero or just trying to play aggressive with the hero because he has like double nukes with a slow at level 2 and he's generally tanky in melee form. But that hero needs to farm, and most of the time the reason why he's so good at farming is because even though he's single target, he has 1 attack speed, and 2, he can guarantee the safe lane because of his potential, like kill potential in a 1v1 scenario. The problem with mid lane though is the kill potential against Sniper just doesn't exist. You can't really out harass a Sniper because your range, even when you're in range form, is smaller.
Right.
If you close the distance to get your whirling axe out, then Sniper's doing something wrong because usually he has 3 shrapnels as well as a life point advantage because of prior harassment. And of course there is the potential Dazzle TP rotation, which Alliance, again, even though their support duo is stronger, they're not really gonna TP their supports. If anything, Lion's probably gonna camp the lane or just try to gank itself. But yeah, I don't really favor this matchup for the Troll at all. I think Sniper has a really easy time going up against Troll Warlord.
So in which case, we're going to see need to see a lot of early pressure coming out from Ake in order to free up a little bit of room for that Troll.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's going to be all on Ake and Bucking Mad to be able to get that right smoke rotation. They do have the early smoke out from Ake. They also have the Boots first build for Mad, so they can actually get on top of the Sniper pretty quickly. They get that first disable and should be able to follow up with whatever Chen creep he has, whether it's the Troll or the Centaur, maybe even the Hellbear Smasher. Should all be pretty good. There is also the possibility of, like, possibly, we see this a lot from early Chens. If with that first creep, if you get an opportunity to get a Harpy or perhaps one of those Wildkins or something like that, some really good harassing creep, they'll actually just spend that whole entire first minute and a half harassing that middle hero down as much as possible, creating space for your own mid, and just stack with the Chen, and then try and farm that up later, hopefully with another Wildkin that you can farm up using the Tornado. It's a good way to be able to get that early advantage for your mid, while at the same time not falling too far behind as a Chen.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because even though everybody acknowledges the immense power of that Harpy, nobody really picks it up anymore. Despite the Chen hero being first pick in every game, it's just everybody seems to favor the Wildkin because most of the time the pull camp, which is where the Harpy spawns, is either blocked or it's being occupied by the other support that's usually playing the 4 or 5 position, I guess.
Right.
Like in this case, effing mad Mashka would be pulling, and then if a Harpy just spawned, he would probably just pull it, ignoring the Harpy potential.
You can already see how hard this matchup is. Pycat may die in the middle lane if he gets enough headshots. Necroman, another shrapnel, and another right click. Is the shrapnel enough? Oh god, he left down to 3 HP. Necroman doesn't quite get the luck there with that last shot. He required a headshot in order to finish off the mid-troll, but as you said, you can already see how tough this matchup is going to be for Pycat as he tries to go into melee form in order to try and abuse that early bit of damage and tankiness that he has, but just gets harassed down so quickly by those headshot procs.
Yeah, he can't. This matchup is honestly it's imbalanced, and the only way you have any way or any hope of remedying a bad situation like this, usually the troll warlord has to start with a PMS pool. You have to start with the poor man shield and 2 tangles, but he went the Wraith Band. So anytime sniper right clicks this guy, it's going to be completely unmitigated.
Right.
Which means that Pycat, honestly, well, this gank is actually going to change things.
Yeah, the slowdown here on Necroman. He's trying to slow down the Centaur to make sure it doesn't get in range of the stun, and he might have just done so. The Centaur barely out of range, and now Pycat will go for a couple more right clicks, but without that disable, oh, maybe they're still going to try and dive him. Actually, the TP canceled there, and he does successfully run down the sniper, Necroman, thinking that he had a savior there with that TP. Doesn't actually get it. I'm guessing, what was that, Come With Me that was coming in, and I believe Nikwa stopped him with the charge. Meanwhile, Sakshi gonna make it a kill. Paris is gonna try and run down Ake and should be successful. He's got, this is purification, but can still right-click him, presumably. Troll comes in. Whirling Axe is not going to be good enough. Now Paris just says, you know what, I'm just going to take on Pycat as well underneath the tower, but unfortunately doesn't have enough for another purification. If he hadn't missed that first one, maybe he could have gone a little bit faster for the rotation onto the Troll. Or if he'd held onto it in the first place, maybe he could have gotten that double. But still, a very fortunate room pickup there for Paris, who now jumps himself up to level 3. A good start for Omni Knight offlane.
Yeah. And to be quite honest with you, even though, first of all, that first blood definitely shouldn't have happened. Necroman started getting really cocky, just trying to right-click down Ake. And I think what he was hoping for was some headshot procs, because while the troll was just getting out of the tower range, Ake was kind of just in it, right-clicking Necroman. So if he did get the headshot procs he was looking for, he would have actually first blooded Ake, because the tower would have just kept getting more hits on the Chen.
Right.
And then he would probably still fall to the troll, which would have been even worse for him anyway. The nice thing about that first blood is that the Necroman, he didn't lose much, because even though he didn't really have items to buy before, he didn't lose much gold. And most importantly, the troll didn't get the first blood. So you can see right now in the middle lane, he still had to come back. He had to buy his own set of tangles, and it seems like somebody bought the TP scroll for him. But he's still not close to his bottle, or I should say he still doesn't have his bottle because he's relatively close to it now. But yeah, Necroman, he's gonna pick up level 4 as his take aim, and he has boots now, so the harassment will still come into Pycat.
Yeah, Pycat is being forced out again and again as those headshot procs keep slowing him down. Neek was doing quite well as the offlane Spirit Breaker here. Level 4.5, not too bad. He hasn't gotten a kill like Paris has in his offlane, but he's still a full level above that Omni Knight. Another smoke up. You're going to see Mad and Ake rotate around the sniper once again, knowing that the troll still needs that additional help. Despite the gank from earlier. Mad's going to be leading force here. Impale. Oh, he gets the Hex first. Now follow up with the Impale. They're going to have to dive in deep, but they should still get it. Troll with the net. Hellbear smash as well, and then we'll just run over Necroman as once again, Come With Me tries to make the turnaround here. With Paris, they could get it. Paris doing a great job body blocking. They get the Malphus and the Purification. Enough right clicks. They do take down that mid. So 1-for-1 trade-off. As heavy rotations from Burning United, they also managed to kill at least one of the Chen creeps. So a fairly good trade-off there for Burn United. Heavy, another smoke basically being used by Alliance, while that was just heavy TP and rotations from Burn United to get the other kill.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think Come With Me should have actually TP'd earlier. And again, I'm not sure if it's really his fault, you could say, because those kind of things are communication related. Like when somebody just surfaces up from a smoke, your mid laner has to be the one that screams to, like, I'm getting ganked, I need assistance. And I know the first TP never really worked out because, as you said, maybe the charge connected. But if he TP'd earlier, he would have actually saved the sniper, and they might have just gotten the double kill, which would have been completely used because, as you mentioned, these are like 2 early game smokes already being used. And despite how the game goes, you can tell, or at least Burden United would know that Alliance by the 20-minute mark, they wouldn't really have smokes to be able to rotate, so that kind of alleviates the potential Roshan pressure coming out of a Troll Chen, and it also eliminates like the potential where they would be in the dark sides of the map kind of thing. So you can always look at the silver lining in this kind of situation.
Speaking of pressure, Loda's really pushing a lot here in this bottom lane into the Omni Knight, trying to take down that tower a bit faster. Of course, he's got Omni Slash ready to go, so if he sees the opportunity to make that kind of dive onto Paris, he will go for that kill. Just so you guys know, that is Sashka under the name of Paris. He changed his name a while back, so we're probably going to refer to him as Paris quite a bit. But charge here in the top lane. Come with me. Nice stun from Sing Sing. Good response to Nikwa's aggression, but it's still Nikwa establishing dominance here in this top lane. They know that Chen is here, but still, that's a Nikwa now picking up his level 6 by 6 minutes in. That's a really good off-lane timing.
Yeah, it's quite nice for him. Of course, a lot of it has to do with the fact that the Dazzle had to be occupied in other parts of the map because he had to leave every now and then. But again, their safe lane isn't really, it's not that strong against the Spirit Breaker. Dazzle, Slardar can kill down, like, knock down a lot of squishies like Puck because they have the movement bonus from Slardar and you can just kind of bum rush squishy targets, but Spirit Breaker is not a squishy target. He's definitely not one of them.
Good call by, I believe that was My Nuts who just placed this ward, or maybe they gave it to the sniper, but this ward seeing the rotation from the Spirit Breaker, knowing he's like, they already did the 2 smoke ganks from the Lion and the Chen, so that kind of ward is going to be brilliant for both seeing potential Chen rotations, but the very obvious Spirit Breaker charges as well. But easily able to spy that one out. They do bring counter wards to Pycat in the middle lane. Okay, on top of the counter vision right away.
And I like this choice by Sing Sing as well. He has opted for the Midas, realizing the urgent need to actually go mid-late game for this. Again, with Dota is, you know, when you, despite the outpick or the potential like lack of AoE solutions for pushes or whatnot, which is kind of the case here, all you have to kind of just do is survive until late game, and as I say, that sniper actually falls to the combo.
Yep, a simple charge through middle with Pycat also hitting the range slow. Pretty simple and easy kill. But yeah, I like the Midas here too as well. I mean, you have the added incentive. I already feel like Slardar is such a hard hero to keep up in farm anyway, so I like Midas. It just feels like oftentimes you need that fast Vanguard blink or maybe just straight blink to provide early aggression. Sing Sing's going to go down in the top lane, doesn't manage to get the stun, and if Nikwa, well, he doesn't get anything mad. Nope, the Impale's going to be way off the mark there as he just couldn't run fast enough, and Nikwa may actually die here. Body blocked a lot by his own creeps, and that last assassinate will take him out. Mad now trying to stay ahead of My Nuts, who does get the Malphas proc, but Shrapnel is not going to be enough to slow him down. And Pycat, who also made a rotation up to the top lane, so that dive onto Sing Sing. Not quite lucky enough with the greater bash procs in order to get that kill, and Sing Sing does manage to get out. But yeah, you have the added incentive versus Chen to have a Midas as well, so I like that quite a bit.
It's just one of those games where if it does go too late, you never really know what's going to happen, because when the map is kind of dark and both teams are kind of lacking observer wards, you just get one jump, one initiation on a critical target, and the game might just end there. So banking on that kind of thing, especially with a hero like Enigma, is definitely the right choice here. Again, I don't really, I haven't been too supportive of their movements. It seemed like everything was a little bit too slow on the side of Burden United this game so far, but they're still hanging on. And as I say that, the Enigma's actually picked up a Midas. Yeah. So this is actually a game plan that they have, and honestly, it's quite smart. It's the best one they can come up with right now.
So, I mean, what do you really give their possibilities going late game? Do you think it's very one-sided to Burn United because they have Omni Knight and Enigma, who are both really strong utility heroes late game? Is that just the biggest late game advantage that they have? Or do you think Alliance have a good shot late game as well with the Juggernaut, Troll, and Spirit Breaker?
Honestly, with late game, it's always execution again. But if you want to just look at strictly on the draft, you just have to consider certain things. Like, so first thing is, did the enemy have an Omni Knight counter? Because late game Omni Knight it's like with Aghanim Scepter, it's way powerful. And I see they're trying to pressure the bottom tower right now. It looks like they can try to secure it, but again, this is just a demonstration of the power of Omni Knight. Like, if you don't have a direct counter or like multiple disables to knock this guy down, then you can't really fight him, even though he doesn't have too many solutions either. Because Purification does a ridiculous amount of damage, if you think about it, and it's pure as well. There's
They're
the charge.
stuck in the river, and come with me. Pops a shallow grave, nice and early, well done. And he's not going to make it out with that TP. Good troll reaction from Ake. They do just get the 1 kill. Loda's going to be forced back as Necroman makes the rotation.
Oh, that hurts him so much. Yeah, he really doesn't want to be.
Oh no! Nikwa, that would have actually been an excellent position for him to go on Necroman. I don't think there would have been a response, but Nikwa gets bashed up by Roshan. Roshan says, no, you're not going to go for that sniper. You're not going to get that potentially free kill on the carry. All because of that RNG bash come into play.
Yeah, that's just a demonstration of RNG and how it changes games. I'm not too sure if they would have gotten the sniper kill, but he did have ultimate, and if he bashed once more with the ultimate and the charge, they probably would have secured the kill. But again, it's just how RNG affects the game. This meta as a whole, with this Troll Warlord, this Axe, Spirit Breakers, and these heroes, it's not the most enjoyable sometimes.
It's very RNG heavy, that's for sure. Middle tower nicely done by Pycat, leaving it with just 5 HP above the deny line. So making sure he has the opportunity to claim that tower a bit later. Paris gets low in the bottom lane. Loda doesn't have his Omni Slash anymore. And of course, it's an Omni Knight. Even though he's low, he's still got that Purification available to him. They're going to give some free time to Mad here in this top lane while the Spirit Breaker's roaming around constantly. Mad can pick up a couple of levels and perhaps an early Blink Dagger. Though it looks like they're going to go on the Sing Sing Slardar once again.
Yeah, he's definitely charging in. Matt does have the level 4 Impale as well as Finger, so they can certainly burst him down. He is relatively squishy.
Sing, can you get the stun? Yeah, nicely done. Nico's going to be stunned up and now amplifying. He's going to be run down here as Necroman makes the TP over. They have really good responses to the Spirit Breaker, and I think that was just way too ballsy from Alliance to try and go for that. I mean, even if you do hit that stun, you may kill Sing Sing, but you're going to be so heavily committed past the tier 1 tower. Oh, hold up, bottom lane. Come with me. Once again, going to pop the early Shallow Grave to try and survive. They do have the ultimate that comes out from Omni Knight, who now turns to try and force back Ake. But he'll heal up his creeps while Juggernaut takes that tier 1 tower. And it looks like they're just going to keep on going. They know there's 2 different TP rotations from 2 cores up to that top lane. It's a good opportunity for them to continue the push.
Yeah, that was a really nice job by Alliance. Again, it's Burden United with Paris. He had to actually use that to save Come With Me, because you don't really want to beat a kill at this point. But that cost him so much just to save the Dazzle that in hindsight you really have to wonder if that was the best move. Because now what Alliance can do is they can just, since they took the tower without any response anyway, and since Burden United showed 3 heroes top to take that tower, they're just going to go into the Roche Pit. And Spirit Breaker, he's kind of making space like this as well. And Paris, yeah, he's actually going to die because there's Finger.
Yep, there goes the Finger, Nikwa. No need for the ultimate. So I guess no need to try and take that tier 2 tower when you could just get Roshan, get the Aegis, and then use that Aegis to be able to pressure down some tier 2 towers even further.
Yeah. To a Juggernaut, Chen, and Troll, towers they're just decorations waiting to be taken down. You can take them down anytime you basically desire. Again, with regards to mid-late game though, Burden United have such good high ground defense that I'm not sure if Alliance can ever push without an Aegis, literally. But they will have that Aegis most of the time, so.
Oh, very lucky. Come with me. He pops his smoke, gets down a ward, sees the rotation over, and now, oh no! 3-man stop here from Sing Sing to start with. Pycat's in a bad position. Unfortunately, no mana for Black Hole. They'll finish off Ake, take down the first life of that Aegis. Loda coming in with the healing ward, trying to keep Pycat alive, will now come in with the spin as well, but Pycat just gets bursted down, and Loda, if he's not be careful, he will be run down by Sing Sing. Sing Sing, though, actually has no more mana. He's expended so many Slithering Crushes in that fight. He's actually all out, but a great fight there for Burn United as Sing Sing finds the perfect opportunity for a Blink Dagger initiation.
Yeah, this is actually going to be this is actually a major problem when the Enigma lineup can push against the Chen lineup at about 14-15 minutes into the game. They already took 1 tier 1, and Sing Sing's just going to stop the Wildkin's Tornado here, which is proving to be quite a nuisance. But I did mention like 4 picks into both teams' lineups that it seemed like a huge outdraft in favor of Alliance. But honestly, this Juggernaut 5th pick, like it was so greedy of them to pick this hero at the end. I honestly think they just needed a better laner against the sniper, because they really lack the gap closer that's necessary. And forget the late game potential. They don't have the solution that they need for the Omni Knight or the sniper at this point. So I feel like if Burden United just sit back with their Midases and wait to get into a better position and fight on their side of the map, which means Alliance would be just walking over, Alliance would find themselves in a bad position and lose a tower in every subsequent event.
So we've seen a lot from, there's going to be a lot of farm on Slardar. Sing Sing hasn't died yet, and he's got that Midas in hand. The Enigma, we've already talked about his Midas, who does go for, I mean, I'm presuming that's a value point booster. I can't assume that's going to be a very fast Aghanims. I would presume BKB would come first.
Honestly, I don't know. He's already got the Blink Dagger, and the targets that he has to black hole this game, if you think about it, he only has to get one person most of the time. It's just one of those games where their teamfight advantage in the mid-late game is so strong that Alliance, as they're slowly missing their timing little by little here, it's just going to be in their favor. Again, like if you look at Pycat's item progression now too, he's actually going to go for the S and Y before the BKB. To be honest, BKB is not the item that he wants to carry this game, but not only is he not the main carry this game, but he's also he needs it to survive, because if he gets stunned up once in any of these teamfights, he's just going to die to the physical burst. So it's starting to become a major problem for them.
So what about the Omni Knight? That was the conversation I was trying to lead into earlier, is the Omni Knight. What kind of items do you go for this offlane for Paris in this game specifically?
I think just the standard stuff. I mean, your Enigma picks up the mech most of the time, but if he doesn't get that in this situation, I guess Omni can get it. He's more of a 5-man hero, but most importantly a position-based hero. Although this game he doesn't have to worry too much about position, because nobody's really going to get to him except maybe like Lion Blink. Even Spirit Breaker Charge has to go through a whole bunch of stuns between Enigma and Shrapnel and Sniper hitting him, and maybe even Sing Sing with that Slithering Crush. So I think maybe Aghanim's Rush might be just really great.
Yeah.
If you can just cast that ultimate, I think the Juggernaut and Troll will have absolutely no impact. That's just the counter.
2 TPs back. They did smoke up in the process. And looking for that initiation. No more TPs into the tier 2. Sing Sing trying to get that initiation, but Alliance quick on the response here. But are they going to be fast enough? Turn around, Finger Death instantly being laid down on Sing Sing. They try and blow him up, but no. Shallow Grave and the Purification is going to be able to save him for the time being. Necroman charged up by Nikwa. Sing Sing gets off a stun and still manages to blink away. The Omni Slash bounce around, sticks on the Necroman. Oh dear. Loda gets lucky with that one as the bounces are right on mark, and Burden United lose one. But now look to reinitiate once again as Alliance push forward into the tier 2, now backing themselves up. But Burden United, without the damage of the sniper, don't seem to feel that confident in pushing out and trying to track down anybody. Instead, Alliance will get out for free and farm up both the middle and bottom lane, which we're pushing in.
That was an awkward engagement, I think, because like the Omni Knight was walking right next to the Slaughter while Slaughter was hasted for like a good 2 to 3 seconds, and he didn't just precast the repel on the Slaughter that was about to jump into 2 targets. And I think Sing Sing, he was actually in range for the Blink Dagger for like 2 seconds as well, and decided to just not use it. I think he might have actually been waiting for the repel to go in, and that's what gave Alliance the opportunity, the timing to counterattack with the jump in from the Lion and the instant disable from Hex. I don't know. I think yeah, I think Soxka there, he definitely should have repelled the Slaughter.
Yeah.
And he is going for the Aghanims, by the way. He's got the point booster, so I think that's the right call.
Yeah, and meanwhile, her My Nuts, the Enigma, still has yet to kind of reveal if he actually is going for that Aghanims. Has an Ogre Club for now, which could go into the BKB. 7-6, 19 minutes in. Alliance are slightly ahead in net worth after that last engagement. Burn United still holding on to a very small experience lead, but overall, the game is fairly even. Alliance ahead by 1 kill, but of course Burn United have that extra power in the fast farming jungler in Enigma, as well as the double Midases that they're rocking to Alliance's 0 Midases.
It's for sure that they will slowly fall behind, and of course if the Enigma can do stuff like this, which is give the space of his own jungle to his teammates, which is actually getting utilized by Pycat right now, because he's an aggressive player that usually likes to do these kind of things. It's good, just trying to find farm in the enemy space. But yeah, both teams are kind of just trading each other's woods, and as the Enigma Eidolons encounter the Chen creeps, they're aware of each other's positions.
Yeah, so both teams taking over the enemy jungle. Burden United are going to try and mount a bit of a response here to this small incursion by Alliance. I doubt they're seriously thinking about going for this tier 2. Similar situation for Burton United in the bottom lane. Come with me. He's trying to lay down some aggressive vision. Like this ward quite a bit, but he does get scouted out by this ward and may be caught as the rotations are coming in. Loda's on the way. Meanwhile, on the right side, we do have the stun onto Sing Sing. Nikwa is actually going to be caught by the black hole. Good catch by My Nuts. Perfect. It gets the two of them. Sing Sing going to be able to stun both of them up, and Nikwa's down. Pycat going to be left alive here because they know there is some more heroes on the way. Assassinate is not going to be enough to finish him off. Jump in. Oh, man. Going to be caught by Sing Sing, and My Nuts blows him up. 2 heroes down. Well, they've only caught that Dazzle we were watching from earlier, and I believe, yeah, they blew Omni Slash just to be able to get that kill. So Alliance are seriously lacking a lot of offensive power now with 2 heroes down and a big ultimate.
Yeah, and you have to also consider that the Omni Knight, as you said, just wasn't even a part of the fight. So imagine the purification, the repel, as well as the GA effects coming in. Again, Alliance are just slowly missing their timing because with that first Aegis, they had that very, very bad engagement in the enemy woods there. Just that entrance into the dire jungle from the mid lane, they got completely caught out with their pants down and got exploited really, really hard in that situation. So Burden United are going to take over the enemy woods now. Of course, they are under vision as they're probably unaware. But again, can Alliance really make anything out of this? I don't know. They're getting pushed in. They're not really getting pushed in that mid, but they're getting pushed in that bottom, and top lane they can't really contest even though the Troll Warlord has presence, because this is just not one of those games where Troll can make a lot of solo plays without the Blink Dagger. So yeah, they're strapped for time.
Enigma's almost got that BKB. What else do we got? Is that Mad actually going for later Midas? It looks like it. So he's going to be going for about a 24-25 minute Midas. It's actually fairly early on to the game for a support to pick up a Midas like this. So I like that pickup. You know it's going to be going late. And Lion, of course, the faster you get to level 16, the better it is. Come with me. Going to be blown up here. No opportunity for a shallow grave on himself. The damage is just too much. Overwhelms him pretty quickly. Nikwa, I believe, or at least I thought I saw, he was getting close to his BKB. But maybe not. Oh, there's the BKB on My Nuts.
Yeah, and he's actually switching, I think. I'm not sure if he's trying to go Vlads with that Ring of Regen inside his inventory and the mask, the Morph mask, but Paris is getting charged up.
Yeah, they might be able to blow him up here. The blink back by Sing Sing says, see you later, Paris. I am not going to try and help you at all, buddy. That's an Omni Slash blown, though, for that kill. Loda does go for the Manta, and I'm presuming a Diffusal Blade after this. You talked about you need an Omni Knight counter, and you do have 2 different heroes, at least, both Troll and Juggernaut, who are possible Diffusal heroes.
Yeah, but we'll have to see. These pickoffs are definitely costing Burden United a lot, especially like the Omni. That was they literally just came in from the front, so I'm not too sure if he should have died the way he did. But Sing Sing just completely bailed on him, and he didn't really cast any spells because he was kind of in panic mode, I think. It's understandable, and again, Alliance gets a lot. Like, both teams have good tower catching potential after they win a fight. It's just that Alliance can always just do Roshan right after, which unfortunately hasn't spawned for them yet.
Yeah, it's a late Roshan. That's quite unfortunate for Alliance.
They will need it. They will absolutely need it. Again, to go high ground for Alliance's lineup this game, they have to have Roshan. If they don't have Roshan, they actually just, unless they burst down the sniper from 900 range out of miraculous play coming out of effing Mad or something, it's just going to be impossible against the triple shrapnel and the Enigma Midnight Pulse.
So the Vlad's, you called it, Nikwa, is going for the Vladimir. It's about to finish that one up. We also have the Diffusal Blade on the Juggernaut, soon to be. Midas almost up for Mad as well. They're getting some big increases. I kind of still feel like the BKB is a necessity for our Spirit Breaker, but I suppose if he just draws a lot of attention and frees up Pycat and Loda to do work, especially Loda, man. This guy is pretty damn farmed. He's got 12k net worth. It's funny. The highest net worth is actually My Nuts. Thanks to that early Midas pickup, he is still at 12.5k, a good 100 gold ahead of our Juggernaut.
No, it was honestly a really smart move. I'm not only impressed but very glad that they chose opted for this option. Again, they knew they can't fight Alliance's lineup in the late game, so why not just secure the high ground where they can never push with all those melee cores, you know. It's a good strategy, and honestly, if Burden United get this Roshan, they they are not going to be hindered in the fights. Like Alliance won't be able to fight into this sniper with Aegis if that's what happens.
Oh, but the charge is coming in. It's on the way onto Necroman. Bumps Sing, grabs Necroman, gets off the ultimate in time. MyNuts, meanwhile, sitting on the cliff, unable to do much about this. He wants to get a black hole, but his Blink Dagger's not up for another 4 seconds. Pycat's going to go down, and Loda now comes in to try and finish off this fight, but there's the black hole. They lay down. Whoa, Lincoln's from Mad actually procs onto Roshan, I think, and now MyNuts going to be swallowed up by Loda as the rest of the team takes down Burden United and now get Roshan and Aegis into their hands. What a bad fight for Burden.
Yeah, and that turned out to be a great engagement for Alliance. I actually thought what was going to happen is if the Spirit Breaker just charges in like that, he was going to get stunned right away in mid-charge.
Yep.
But first of all, nobody stunned him. And secondly, the Omni Knight got picked off right away, again, to an Omni Slash or something, and didn't get a single spell off. And again, these kind of things, like if you just misgauge the fights, Alliance can push up high ground when the sniper is down and the Enigma is down without the Midnight Pulse as well.
Yep.
This is the snowball effect coming in, and Alliance, they've built a lot of these early game items, I would say. Like again, the Vladimir's is not really going to take you far, even though it scales nicely with the armor. And now that the heroes are coming up, they're trying to escape. I think they will succeed. Loda still has the Blade Fury.
Yeah, the Weave is coming into play. Nikwa is actually going to be stunned up by Sing. They will quickly surround that cow.
I think he was giving space to his team.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's wise. Like, Loda even comes back. They sent back him. Ake, I think, realized he's like, well, I'm dead. I'm just going to turn around, embrace my fate. That way I can spawn back a little bit faster.
Yeah, like, given the way the Spirit Breaker was moving, he actually just straight up ran into them. It definitely looked like he was just trying to give his team some space and say, okay, everybody else get out. I can make it back, and I spawn fast enough. I've charged. But Ake, I actually had a save a friend syndrome there for a second. Try to turn back to Nikwa, try to send him back to base or something, and ended up paying with his life as well as all his creeps for it too. So despite the bad engagement at Roach Pit, Burden United are still getting something out of this. Even though they didn't take down the Aegis or another really critical core like the Troll Warlord, they're still probably gonna get this tower. Actually, I say probably, but effing Matt smoked up. I think they wanna do like a after tower chase kind of thing, or have the Spirit Breaker charge in. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looks like they've already managed to chase away some of Burden United. Nikwa still waiting on that next charge coming up in 2 seconds, but the rest of Burden United are already out, and I don't think they have any vision of, they've got no vision of anybody else. Burden United actually stopping here on this cliff, waiting for somebody to come up and maybe blow them up real quickly. But I'm not sure if that's a fight they really want to take. If it's Loda who's the first one up there, you know, he's got that Aegis. Who cares if you pick him off? It's going to be a bad fight nonetheless. So 15-12, Burden United now left, locked inside their base. Come with me. He's going to go down to the top lane. Nope, you're not making it out, my friend.
I don't think he should have died there. I know he doesn't have vision, but that was like, he actually just showed himself on the map. And against Spirit Breaker as a support, most importantly, you have to be aware that if you ever show yourself for more than 5 seconds inside the lane, he's probably going to charge you. So it's unfortunate that he died there, but again, his deaths aren't really the biggest. So far, I would say the biggest deaths just have been coming up from the Omni Knight. It's when he gets picked off at the start of the fight. You know, you're missing out so much of that defensive potential, that stay alive factor that Burden United really need. They just need to extend the fights long enough that Troll Warlord and Juggernaut no longer have steam, and both these heroes, while Juggernaut's not exactly a one-hit wonder, Troll Warlord, if you think about it, he is really a one-hit wonder type of hero, and so is the Spirit Breaker. So once you just drain them of their fuel, they really got nothing else left in the tank.
Right. Well, hopefully that Ghost Scepter will save Paris. As you said, I really haven't seen much impact on it from him in these team fights, but there could be a much larger impact here. MyNuts is about to finish up the Aghanim Scepter, just needs another 700 gold, and that's a pretty big upgrade, especially since these heroes, well, I clicked on the Spirit Breaker, first looking at that strength here to see what his HP pool is. Unfortunately, Neek was pretty underfarmed, but the other two heroes are actually, decent amount of HP as well, 1800, so that percentage-based Midnight Pulse upgrade to Black Hole is going to be quite a lot of additional damage for Burn United.
Super strong. It destroys Chen lineups, especially these Chen Juggernaut Troll type of push lineups. I'd go so far to say that if MyNuts gets a refresher this game, usually Enigma's getting refreshers is a really great sign, and most of the time post for victory. But it's just like the perfect refresher game. You don't even have to refresh her Black Hole. All you have to do is just Midnight Pulse, refresh Midnight Pulse again, and then if you can get Black Hole off, that's cherry on top.
Alright,
you just have to make sure Alliance can never get to high ground. Then they definitely have the right setup, but they're smoked up. They're gonna try to take another engagement, and Aegis hasn't expired, so if they go for this, it'd be a huge surprise to me.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're banking on. It'll be a surprise to you, and you're the observer. Maybe it'll be a complete surprise to Alliance, but they don't see the opportunity. And that's going to be a wasted smoke there for Burn United. Meanwhile, their range Rex actually takes some serious damage from just illusions from the Troll and Juggernaut.
Yeah, I honestly don't know about that smoke. That was kind of awkward. I guess they wanted vision or try to catch some heroes on the way out, and they do have a ward there at their tier 2 as well. It's kind of stacked up between the Radiant as well as the Dire wards, but yeah, that's certainly a waste of a smoke. And right now, smokes are quite critical for both teams. Again, for Alliance because they use so many in the early stage, and for the Dire team because right now if they smoke, they're losing farm time. They just have to farm and push out lanes constantly this game.
Another smoke attempt here from Burn United. Pushing through the middle lane.
Yeah, Aegis is down.
Okay, yeah. They timed it well this time. My nuts. Oh, it's going to be popped by Mad. Quickly blinks away, and Sing Sing still pushing forward, but Alliance, they've already, alarm bells have been sprung. They're going to back up. And wait out another failed smoke from Burden United. That's got to be their last one, I think.
Yeah. I kind of feel like I feel like they're not approaching this right. I'm not sure if they understand their late game potential. I guess they realize that they're behind on farm, and that Alliance have so much map control at this point that Alliance might just take the next Roshan without contest, which is definitely a problem. Again, Alliance is really good with Roshan, and most importantly, they have to fight with Roshan. And if they get the Roshan, then Burden United are in a lot more trouble than they should have been or they could be in.
Right.
But at the same time, you really just have to push out the lanes. I know that Alliance has a lot of pick-off potential, and I guess they're kind of worried about it. Between the Lion and the Spirit Breaker, if they have vision, they can jump on any targets. But yeah, I'm not sure if smoking is the right option right now. I think they just push out the lanes and kind of hold hands. Yeah. And by that I mean like maybe the Omni Knight should be with the team and perhaps Lara or elsewhere. But
I'm kind of with you on using the smokes a little bit differently. I would have liked to see them do this push out like they're doing with Sing Sing, but just try and like smoke behind him and wait for the inevitable gank. As you said, Alliance do have a lot of pick-off potential. Unfortunately, it seems, though, Alliance are going to stick to a 5-man placement of their own as they go into the enemy jungle, push out the top lane. I think they realize, as long as we don't get too greedy, we're far enough ahead right now that we could just stay kind of grouped up. Burn United aren't going to win a team fight against us unless we have really bad positioning. So, as long as we don't get too greedy when it goes for, trying to get pickoffs or farming, trying to take the map too economically and spreading out too much, I think as a whole, Alliance have the right idea. They push out together and then back up, maybe farm their jungle a little bit. And at this point, I guess just wait for Roshan. That's going to be up in, well, the potential timer starts in 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's probably going to be the next big fight. Again, unless an engagement breaks out prior to or lanes are too pushed in for the Dire team to respond. I would say, again, Alliance's lineup is not heavily in favor, but in favor in the Roche pit for sure right now. In the meantime, Burden United just have to push out the lanes as much as possible. Right now, the vision is just the most critical thing, and even though both teams have like quite good / decent wards, Burden United's team is not the one that takes advantage of them. Again, their only real initiation is Slaughter, and they don't really have great burst damage to follow up. They just have great high ground defense, and that's what they have to work on emphasizing.
16-12, 33 minutes in. We have a bit of a pause here, basically, while we wait for both teams to farm up and eventually go for that Roshan. But as you can see, the gold lead has climbed above that 10,000 marker, about to hit the 12K lead for Alliance, about a 7,000 experience lead as well. Item-wise, we are going to have a BKB soon for Nikwa. In fact, he just needs another 100 gold or so, and he'll have that pickup. Matt is actually going to start investing into an Aghanim Scepter eventually here. Pycat, meanwhile, is going to go for the Assault Cuirass, which is kind of needed for the team, drastically increasing the physical damage of his team. So, like that pickup quite a bit. Meanwhile, on the side of Burn United, we talked about the finished Aghanim Scepter for Manuts, and don't really have much else here. Paris is halfway to an Aghanim Scepter, but of course he probably wants to hold on to buyback. Jump over. Oh, they found Loda. This could be a big pickoff, but already Sing Sing He hit the stun, but kind of got stuck in the trees there a little bit. And the rest of his team did not follow that up. I'm not sure if they realized that Loto was completely alone there, but that would have been a good opportunity. Hell, I would say just straight up use Black Hole. Of course, that would be a very ballsy maneuver. If,
yeah, actually,
they don't know
I
Loto's
don't.
alone.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. Again, these pickoffs, I'm not sure if it would have been even worth it. Like, if they committed the Black Hole, and if I was Loda, what would happen is I would probably just buy back, run over to the Roshan pit, and if he gets the Aegis, game might just end there, because you know you have Aegis and the enemy doesn't have Black Hole. So even if the Enigma buys back at this point, he doesn't have like a second Midnight Pulse from a refresher. So their high ground defense will pretty much be eradicated. But I do agree that they need something, and they definitely have to sense have the sense of urgency at this point, because this AC coming up from Troll Warlord means that their push next time is going to be so much stronger. And honestly, I don't know, Burden United, I think they're the ones that are slowly losing grip of this game now due to the wonderful fights coming out of Alliance at the earlier stages, especially at the Roche pit earlier.
What do you think about Blink Dagger for the next item on Pycat? Take away the bottle for Blink.
See, like, this AC it's a really good item. For this game, it's fantastic. They just want more presence to push up high ground with the Aegis on Juggernaut or something.
Right.
But I thought he was gonna go for Blink. I think what makes Troll good against Sniper, if it's not the global buff up and the attack speed to everybody, is actually the ability to Blink jump onto a Sniper.
Right.
But I guess he doesn't really have to do that when he's got Aegis and his whole team is owning.
Yeah, he's got a double damage right now. Now Minut's going to pop the BKB. Black Hole laid down. There's no follow-up damage, but, there's the ultimate from Nikwa in order to stop that ulti. Now they're going to jump over left-hand side. Paris, oh no, he's going to get blown up again without doing anything. Dear God, come with me. He's on the way out as well, but GG is the call from Minuts. He's done with this game. He made the best initiation he could, but Burden United just could not back him up. And without a significant fight by their base or anything, they just go ahead and call it quits. So game one going to Alliance.
Yeah, I think they're aware that they can't hold the high ground anymore with the Aegis going over to Juggernaut or Troll at this point. Again, I question the Juggernaut pick, and even though Alliance won pretty handedly with Juggernaut going 9-0, I still do, because I feel like Burden United, going by what I've seen with them recently, they seem so strong and almost indomitable. But this game, it just seemed like there were a lot of mistakes, especially the slow dazzle rotations, the TP that got cancelled earlier was really good, but the second TP was just, it wasn't fast enough, and I don't know, I don't think they offered enough protection for the Sniper, and I think the Omni Knight just got picked off way too easily in the critical situations, and that really snowballed out of control, I think.
All right, guys. Well, that is now Burden United taking their first loss in the Dota 2 Champions League. We have game number 2, though, on the way. Short little break, and we'll be back.